Guys, this is what we ended up with. Mine's that top one right there. Look at these huge jacks. Look at that. This one's a beast right here. Oh, he got it back. He came for it back. He came back for it. What is going on, everybody? Here we are at the Surfside Jetty, and today I'm going to teach you a real simple trick to catch more fish with the spoon. Right now, within a week or two, everybody's going to be out here at the jetty fishing with spoons, trying to catch the elusive trash fish king, the jackfish. So I'm going to give you a few simple tips on how to work the spoon, and another tip to allow you to catch more fish instantly with the spoon. All right, so let me go ahead and begin. I'm going to show you 3 different ways to work the spoon, what modifications to make, and how to be successful fishing the jetty or anywhere with a spoon. Hold it up. Check it out, y'all. Huge jack. This has to weigh over 40 pounds. This thing is massive. It's like a torpedo. If you don't want to go through the hassle of making all these by yourself, I do sell spoons on my Big Cartel website. I will leave the link in the description. All right, so here's the combo that I'm going to be using today. This is going to be on a Puma Tesoro 12,000 spool with 50-pound tight line braid. I haven't caught a jack on this yet. I caught several drum. They fight totally different. And here, the rod is a breakaway drumstick. I've just been messing around, switching gear. I had them at Car 10,000 on here, so just kind of messing around, see what feels better right now. And attached there, I have my casting cannon, which is going to allow you to cast further. Here, when you're casting spoons all day, you're gonna wish you had this, trust me, the breakaway cannon. All right, so here's gonna be my spoon setup. You always change out the gear because every time you get these, everything's gonna rust on the first trip. The metal that they use is extremely cheap. As soon as you bang it up, it's gonna rust within the same day. Actually, it'll probably rust within like 2-3 hours after the hit. You always have to wash it down. The only thing OG on here is gonna be the metal here. So this is my setup right here. Here's a power clip here that I switch out so I can quickly switch lures. And I have a BMC split ring here for rated to 200 pounds. Here I have another split ring, this BMC. Sometimes I've been experimenting with the barrel swivel here to see if it does any difference. Here I have the third split ring here. I only use the third split ring when I'm using this barrel swivel. Again, I'm just experimenting with this. And here I got a BKK Demon hook. This is a 3-aught. Important, switch your hooks. Switching your hook here is gonna guarantee you the catch. Trust me, it's all about the hook. To effectively work a spoon, there's 3 different methods that I like to use. The first one is pretty simple. It's not my favorite, but it works. Basically, cast it out. Give it like 5 seconds to sink. And just reel it in at a moderate speed. Now, it looks like I'm reeling in really fast right now, but because this is a slow geared spinning reel, it's 4-to-9 ratio. But if you have something like in the upper 5 or 6s, then you're gonna be reeling in a lot slower. See, reeling in faster. It looks like I'm reeling in real fast. That's when the fish are subsurface. It's also, I mean, it works. You know, I've had a lot of fish like this. Most of the time when you're catching like this, you're gonna be targeting jacks, a lot of Spanish mackerel like that. But that's not my favorite way to work it. My favorite way to work it is actually, depending on what I'm fishing for, like jacks, my favorite method to do that is watch, let me show you that. If I cast it out, this is a twitch reel motion. Sink for about 5 seconds, reel in the slack, jig, 1, 2, drop 2 seconds, jig, drop 2 seconds, jig, drop 2 seconds, reel in the slack, jig, drop 2 seconds, reel in the slack. When you do this, the fish will always hit it on the drop, especially when you're jack fishing. This always gets the jacks, especially when you work the middle column. If you don't actually see the jacks on the top, then they're almost always in the middle. They're almost always in the middle column of the water. They're hardly ever at the bottom, but if they're not on top, they're in the middle, and this is exactly where the spoon is going to be worked on, the middle column. Trust me, they're almost always there. If you see them on top, then obviously do the first method. But most of the time, when I am fishing for these jacks and I do the jig, drop 2 second method, there's other people around me that are fishing and throwing the spoons and just reeling it in. That method almost always gets hit when you're fishing around other people. if you're fishing for bull reds or at the bottom of the jetties, then you're gonna have to jig. And let me show you how I do that. This is the way it works. Cast out, let it drop all the way to the bottom, and you'll feel once it hits the bottom. You'll feel that. You'll feel a thump. There, I'm at the bottom. And what I do is jig, hits the bottom, jig, hits the bottom, jig, hits the bottom. And I do that all the way till I get within really close of the jetty. And the reason that how I feel that is, I start to feel that the bottom feels a little harder and rocky. You feel more pings more than thuds. And I'll set the hook really hard and then start reeling in as fast as you can. So like that you don't get snagged. The jigging really gets people snagged. Cast it out. Let me cast it out real quick. Give it a nice cast. Wait for it to hit the bottom. I'll do one big jig and then another quick jig. It'll flutter down. They also, again, they hit it on that flutter. They always hit it on that flutter. And sometimes I'll just do it 3 times. But that's rare that I do that. But most of the time I'm always doing the middle column working. And that's where I almost always get all the jacks and kings and stuff like that. Alright, so here's a tutorial on how we're gonna switch out the hardware. Now let me show you this, check this out. So here's a spoon that straight out of the bag from Amazon. Check this out, look at this. These are really cheap. I can do this too. Look at that. You see how cheap these are? Look at that. That's it. And then they're gonna rust out immediately. All right, so see, we were able to bend that hook, and the crazy thing also, look, check this out. The accessories on these are so cheap, which is why you can get them at a good price on Amazon, that I can take these split rings apart with my fingers, watch. That's it, see? Cheap, really cheap hardware. I can take this one off too if I wanted to. Here we got the BKK 3/0 hooks here, ultra anti-rust, the fangs. And we got these really good split rings here. They break at, this is 200-pound test split ring, size 5. And we're gonna need a split ring pliers here to take them apart. Let's go ahead and take it off. So what we do is get the split ring plier, pinch it just like that, and just twist it around. Look at that. Look how cheap they are. They're so easy. Now you got the spoon by itself, and we're gonna switch all the hardware. Now to put them on the same thing, you put them on, they just twist it around. There you go, you see? Got a whole new split ring on the top, and we do the same to the bottom. All right, let's go ahead and get a hook. Be careful, these are really sharp. These are super sharp. And I did want to mention, by the way, if you don't want to go through the hassle of making all these by yourself, I do sell spoons on my Big Cartel website. I will leave the link in the description. They're the same spoons on here with the BKK hooks, the quality split rings, and all that stuff. Guaranteed, you're gonna catch more fish like that. So let's go ahead and put this on right here. Perfect. Check it out. We got a good spoon that's gonna catch a lot of fish right here. Just by changing out the hook, it's gonna increase your hookup ratio by 100% guaranteed. And like I said earlier, if you don't wanna go through the hassle of getting all this stuff, then you can just go to my website on Brick Cartel and you can buy these spoons off my website for me.